So thank you so much for joining us at AlligatorZone today. Could you please tell me your name, your title, your company's name, and your website address?
I'm Sampriti Bhattacharyya. I'm the founder and CEO of Navier, and the website address is navierboat.com.
Okay. So could you please either show us the product or give me a simple explanation of what your product is?
Yeah, so we are the new kind of maritime company. Means we build vessels that go on water. The first product we built, it's the Navier N30. Is America's first all-electric hydrofoiling boat and the world's longest range electric boat in this category. What hydrofoiling means is that it flies above the water, so it is like 10 times more efficient than a traditional gas boat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so why did you start this company?
Great question. So I like solving hard problems. Mm-hmm. I used to be fascinated by space, and I think it's really cool to understand a new frontier. Mm-hmm. But then I understood that after the Malaysian Airlines got lost, that the final frontier on this planet is very less, it's least understood, let's just put it that way. And there has been very little innovation in this space. But civilization was built around water, right? Mm-hmm. Even America was built on the water. Mm-hmm. So, and somehow in time we have lost innovation out there. If you could move goods, people on the water at the cost, speed, convenience of land-borne options or airborne options, then you can transform the waterways into highways of tomorrow in a much more scalable way, and that will fundamentally change how coastal cities or how the world operates, because everything is about how goods and people move.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how did you actually get started? What were some of the first steps that you took to building your company?
Well, fundamentally, if you really think about that, I think the steps started early, right? I think the seed was born when I was still at MIT in grad school, and I was building underwater drones, right? And I understood the problems regarding building systems that go in the water. And what I realized is that the technology stacks that are pushing land and air, which is cheaper, faster computing, scalable manufacturing, electrification, these are the things that will transform, like the Tesla, eVTOLs, and so on. It will also transform technology and platforms on the water. And I was building underwater drones then. But as I iterated, I thought okay, what's the first thing, right, in terms of market and timing, where we will see the application of the technology? And it seemed like what seemed obvious was a coastal application, because there is infrastructure by the coast rather than ocean-going vessels. Mm-hmm. And it's the first, problem that you can actually build in a practical way. So that's why we decided on building the boats.
So what was one challenge that you faced that you overcame, and how did you do that? Or how do you go about the process?
I think, when we started telling people that we are building a maritime company in a place where most people do software was pretty hard, to really open up people's mind that this can be transformative. I think the way you make it real is you keep building. You build a prototype, then you show that works, and you build a bigger boat, you show that works. You overcome challenges and skepticism by you keep building, you show progress, and you show that it's solving someone's problem. So that's how we move forward.
Mm-hmm. So how did you find your first customers?
Well, our first customers are, really early adopters. So when we had this concept, we kind of put a render out there, what we are thinking to build. We got a lot of interest. And then once we had built it out, we were ready to go into production. Some of those people who were interested decided to move forward and buy the boat. And so here we are. We are wrapping up delivery of our first batch of production boats.
Nice, nice. How do you plan to grow your company in the future, or what are some things that you want to look into or add?
Well, so the first 10 boats, the reason it's like the Tesla Roadster kind of a thing. You build the first few to understand, how the technology is working, what's not working, and how do we build something that's more scalable, more impactful, because the big disruption is really in transportation, right? So now that we have received the feedback and understanding, we are going to use that to basically take all that learning and design for manufacturing, go back to the drawing board and scale. And scale for our first use cases is still small vessel, but more specific for people transportation.
What is some advice that you would give to someone who wanted to start a startup?
I think this is interesting because I don't think I planned. Technically, I did not really plan to start a startup. I was fascinated by the idea of solving hard problems. I think startups are the best way to solve hard problems in terms of the approach, the capital that you need, and really be able to put a product out there. A startup approach works very well in doing that. So I think you gotta find something interesting that you love, that you don't have to take a vacation from, because startups are really hard. Hardware startups are even harder, and when you build hardware startups that are 30-foot machines and that go on the water, that's even harder. So the complexity keeps growing. So I think people say do what you love, and it comes across that everyone says it, but it's actually important that you feel passionate and strongly about a problem that you feel excited about to wake up in the morning and do it, because it's not a smooth road. And I think you should really jump into it if you feel, really strongly about it.
So how can we, or people who are in the audience at this event, help you with your startup?
Well, it's awesome that everybody is getting to know about it, and as you build this industry out, you will need people who are talented, who are interested to solve hard problems. They can get into the field, because the American maritime industry is very old, and it's a legacy industry, and it's about time that we really reinvent it. And it would be great for talented young people to get excited about it, just like they are excited about space, and rebuild this entire industry and build next generation cool platforms that go out in the ocean and help humanity.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for taking the time with us to be at AlligatorZone.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.